Okay, sir. Right. Vulnerability assessment and penetration testing tools. And okay, right here, generally we are using this concept in the IT and computer sectors and the cyber security also. Generally, security means that it's a journey, but it is not a destination, because we cannot say that at any moment of time this is the high secure. This is the end of the end. This is the last mile of the security. Okay, we can't say like that, because every time the hackers may hacking the data, or hacking the website, or hacking something. But we need to increase the security. Okay, that's only. Can't say that this is the this is the best secure process. We can't say that like that. Okay, right. Next, what is confidentiality? Generally, confidentiality means that the people who are not authorized people cannot access the data. Okay, if some of the unauthorized people can access the data, then the confidentiality missing from that data. So confidentiality means that it's a safe from the unauthorized access only. Next, integrity. Integrity means that correctness and comprehensiveness of data. Next, availability. Availability means that the resources are always available to authorized users. And if some of the resources are needed, then it must be available to authorized users. This is called the availability. Okay, generally, information security having these three characteristics: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Okay, right. Next, what is vulnerability assessment and penetration testing? Okay, generally vulnerability means that it's like as a uh, అంటే ఏమంటామంటే వైనరబిలిటీ అంటే సెక్యూర్గా లేదు. ఓకే, దెర్ ఇస్ ఎ ఛాన్స్ టు హ్యాక్ దిస్ వెబ్సైట్ అన్నట్టు ఉంది. ఓకే, దెర్ ఇస్ ఎ ఛాన్స్ టు హ్యాక్ ద వెబ్సైట్ ఆర్ దెర్ ఇస్ ఎ ఛాన్స్ టు హ్యాక్ ద డేటా. అది VPAT are two types of VPAT means that vulnerability assessment penetration testing are two types of vulnerability testing. One is the vulnerability assessments, next one is the penetration testing. Okay, vulnerability assessment. Coming to the first slide, first concept of the VPAT is the vulnerability assessment. Okay, vulnerability assessment means that search systems for known vulnerabilities. ఓకే, అంటే మనకి ఏంటంటే సిస్టమ్ లోపల ఎక్కడ వీక్గా ఉంది, ఓకే, ఎక్కడ వీక్గా ఉంటే అక్కడ వనరబుల్గా ఉన్నట్టు అనమాట, డేటా ఈజీగా ఉన్నట్టు. ఓకే, systems known vulnerabilities. Right, next. Vulnerability assessment or vulnerability scan or vulnerability test. How to assess that one? How to calculate? How to search the system for known vulnerabilities? And next, we need to test the system. Next, we can access the system. Okay, right. Next, it's a process to probe system for known vulnerabilities. How can you calculate the risk level? The formula is that level is equal to x into vulnerability by founders into impact. By use these calculate risk levels. Okay, into impact. Next, vulnerability assessment. Vulnerability assessment. What are the goals and objectives of the process of vulnerability assessment? What is the scope? Okay, in black box testing, white box testing, gray box testing, generally we are using these types of testing. And next, information gathering, vulnerability detection, information analysis. Okay. So types of vulnerability assessment. First one is a host-based vulnerability assessment. Second one is the network-based, database-based vulnerability assessment. Right, next. Benefits of vulnerability assessment. Some freeware tools are available for assessing the vulnerabilities. Identifies almost all known vulnerabilities. Extremely automated for scanning. Easy to run on a regular basis. Easy to run on a regular basis. These are the benefits of vulnerability assessment. And next one is the weakness of vulnerabilities assessment. What are the weaknesses for vulnerability assessment? Hello, sir. Now it is okay. Right. Where we are using the vulnerability assessment. Here, generally, we are using the attacks are happened in the IT sector and computer sectors and cyber security also. Okay, generally, security is nothing but we can provide security, but we can't say that is the best secure system. At any moment of time, we can't say that this is the best secure system. It is best secure. Why it is not best secure system is that even though some loopholes are available at that moment. So generally, if we are identifying some of the, we need to resolve those issues only, simply. Okay, we can't say that this is the high secure system. Okay, simply we need to strengthen the security. Okay, that is only the, అంటే మనం సెక్యూర్గా ఉంది అని చెప్పాలి అంటే కనుక ఇది సెక్యూర్ సిస్టమ్ 100% అని ఎక్కడ గ్యారంటీ ఇవ్వదు. మనం ఏంటంటే సెక్యూరిటీని ఇంప్రూవ్ చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్తూ ఉంటాం తప్ప మనం ఎక్కడ కూడా ఇది 100% సెక్యూర్ అని చెప్పడం లేదు. ఒక హౌస్ ఉందనుకోండి, హౌస్ చుట్టూ మనం ఒక వాల్ కట్టాము. వాల్ కట్టినంత మాత్రం సెక్యూర్గా ఉంటుందా? ఏదో ఒక కార్నర్లోంచి మనకి థ్రెట్ రావచ్చు అనమాట. అలాగే ఈ సెక్యూరిటీ సిస్టంలో కూడా అంతే. ఎక్కడ థ్రెట్ వస్తే, ఇటువైపు నుంచి థ్రెట్ వస్తే అక్కడ మనం సెక్యూరిటీని స్ట్రెంథన్ చేస్తాం. అంతే తప్ప ఇంక వేరే చేయడానికి ఏముండదు. ఇక్కడ కూడా దాన్ని మనం అసెస్ చేసి అది ప్రివెంట్ చేయడానికి ట్రై చేస్తాం. లేదా ప్రివెన్షన్ చేయలేకపోతే కనుక వచ్చిన తర్వాత దాన్ని ఎలా రికవర్ చేయాలో చూస్తాం. ఓకే, అంటే ఇది ఒక ప్రాసెస్, ఇట్స్ ఎ జర్నీ, నాట్ లైక్ ఏ డెస్టినేషన్. ఓకే, రైట్. ఇక జనరల్గా ఏంటంటే మనకి ఒక ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఉందంటే, ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ సెక్యూరిటీలో ఏమేమి టెర్మినాలజీ యూజ్ చేస్తామంటే confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So what we call confidential, when the data having confidentiality. So generally, it is safe from the unauthorized access. It means that confidential. It means that the unknown person cannot access, cannot read the data. Is said to be confidentiality. Is said to be a confidentiality. Next one is the integrity. Integrity means that correctness and a comprehensiveness of data. Correctness and comprehensiveness of data is nothing but the integrity of the data. Next, when we say that availability, okay, so, resources, whatever the resources needed for that one, okay, those resources are available for for a authorized person, then it is called the availability. Okay, when we say that availability అంటే మనకి కావాల్సినటువంటి రీసోర్సెస్ అన్ని ఎవరికి ఇవ్వాలి అంటే ఆథరైజ్డ్ పర్సన్ మాత్రం ఇస్తే దెన్ ఇట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ ద అవైలబిలిటీ అని చెప్తాం. రైట్. జనరల్లీ వనరబిలిటీ అంటే ఏంటంటే లైక్ లొంగిపోతారు కదా, అది వనరబిలిటీ లైక్ దట్. ఓకే, vulnerability testing are type of vulnerability testing. First one is vulnerability, second one is vulnerability test, and second one is the pattern. Two vulnerability tests, the other two. Then we found no vulnerability scan or testing. Next one is the it's process to pro system from known vulnerabilities. It's a process to pro system from known vulnerabilities. Next, how can you calculate the risk level? Calculate the risk level. Right. Level of risk equal to let's see, okay, how many threats? Let's see two vulnerabilities into impact by counter. Okay, there is a formula for calculating the risk of level. Okay, into vulnerabilities into impact. Next one is the process of vulnerability assessment. Process of vulnerability assessment. Okay, how we will assess the vulnerabilities? Assessing the vulnerabilities. Okay, there is block testing, white box testing, gray box testing are there. Okay, by using that also we can assess that. Next one is the information gathering, vulnerability detection, information analysis, and planning also. Okay, right. Next, types of vulnerability assessments. First one is the host-based vulnerability assessment. Second one is the network-based vulnerability assessment, and third one is the database based vulnerability assessment. Right, next, benefits of vulnerability assessment. So what are the benefits of vulnerability assessments? Right here, some freeware tools are available for assessing the vulnerabilities. Vulnerabilities identifies almost extremely automated for scanning also. Extremely automated for scanning. Next, easy to run on a regular basis. Easy to run on a regular basis. Next one is the weakness of vulnerability assessment. Weakness of vulnerability assessments. Have high false positive rate, easily detected by intrusion detection system firewall, cause a denial of services by generating bulk of packets. Next, often fail to notice latest vulnerabilities. The weakness of vulnerability assessments are have false positive rate, easily detect by intrusion detection system firewall. The firewall manufacturer next cause a denial of service by generating bulk of packets. అంటే మనకేంటంటే సర్వీస్ని డినైల్ చేయటం. అంటే సర్వీస్ని డినైల్ చేయడం అంటే మనం ఎక్కువ ప్యాకెట్స్ని పంపిస్తూ ఉంటాం అనుకోండి, ఆటోమేటిక్గా ట్రాఫిక్ జామ్ అయింది. సర్వీస్ అనేది డినైల్. Often fail to notice latest vulnerabilities. Often fail to notice added all the time. Right, next. Coming to the next one also, attempts to exploit vulnerabilities to penetrate a system. Attempts to exploit vulnerabilities to penetrate a system. Attempts to exploit vulnerabilities to penetrate a system. Next one is the penetration testing, okay, and ethical hacking. Okay, methodology. Okay, which methodology we are using for calculating the penetration testings? A zero knowledge test, a full knowledge test, a partial knowledge test. ఇక్కడ మనకి త్రీ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ టెస్టింగ్స్ ఆర్ దే పెనట్రేషన్ టెస్టింగ్స్. ఫస్ట్ వన్ అంటే జీరో నాలెడ్జ్, ఓకే, వితౌట్ నోయింగ్ ఎనీథింగ్. There is one test is there, that is the zero knowledge test. Okay, if we know all the things, then it is called a full knowledge test. Okay, if we know something, so a partial knowledge test. Right. Next one is the process of penetration testing. One, scope test plan. Okay, first we need to know the what is the scope of the test plan. Next, identify. And scope of the test plan means that here we are calculating the penetration testing process. The entire system, or only source, or only destination, or only network, or only one device. Yeah, that is the plan. అంటే ఒక సిస్టమ్ని మనం స్కాన్ చేస్తామా, లేదా సోర్స్ డెస్టినేషన్ రెండు స్కాన్ చేస్తామా, లేదంటే నెట్వర్క్ ఎంటైర్ నెట్వర్క్ని స్కాన్ చేస్తామా, లేదా ఒక ప్లాన్, స్కోప్ ఆఫ్ టెస్ట్ ప్లాన్. నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఇస్ ద ఐడెంటిఫై పొటెన్షియల్ వనరబిలిటీస్. ఓకే, అంటే పొటెన్షియల్ అంటే ఇట్స్ లైక్ కన్ఫామ్గా వచ్చేవి. ఐడెంటిఫై పొటెన్షియల్ వనరబిలిటీస్. Identify potential vulnerabilities. Next one is the attempt vulnerability exploitation. Attempt vulnerability exploitations. Next, document finding. Next one is the document finding. Next, provide detailed and remediation. Provide detailed and remediation steps. Next one is the populate workflow management portal. Populate workflow management portal. Next, the penetration test strategies. First one is the external testing. Second one is the internal testing. External testing and internal testing. Right. Benefits of penetration testing. What are the benefits for penetration testing here? A test network or system using the tools and techniques that attackers uses. Okay, see here, test network or system using the tools and techniques that attackers use. అంటే మనకి ఏం చేస్తున్నాం ఇక్కడ అంటే, మనం ఏ టూల్స్ అంటే అటాకర్స్ యూజ్ చేయడానికి ఏమేమి ఛాన్సెస్ ఉన్నాయని చూస్తాం. Demonstrate at what depth vulnerabilities can be exploited. Demonstrate at what depth vulnerabilities can be exploited. Next, validate vulnerabilities. Validate vulnerabilities. Next one, can provide the realism and evidence needed to address security issues. Can provide the realism and evidence needed to address security issues. Next, weakness of penetration testing. Labor intensive, require greater expertise. Labor intensive, require great expertise. Next, dangerous when conducted by inexperienced tester. A dangerous when conducted by inexperienced tester. Next, reveal source code to third party. Reveal source code to third party. Next one is the expensive. And next one is the some tools and methods may be banned by agency regulation. Some tools and methods may be banned by agency regulations. So, and first one is the labor intensive, require great expertise. అంటే ఇక్కడ మనకి అంటే వీక్నెసెస్ ఎక్కడ ఉన్నాయి దీనిలో అంటే పెనట్రేట్ అవ్వడం లాంటిది కదా. అలా చేయడానికి ఏంటంటే ఎక్కడ లేబర్ ఇంటెన్సివ్ అనేది ఒక కాజ్. అంటే ఇది ఏంటంటే మనకి ఒక మంచి ఎక్స్పర్టైజ్ అయితేనే దే కెన్ డిటెక్ట్ దిస్ లేబర్ intensive. So next one is the dangerous when conducted by inexperienced tester. Suppose some of them have not some experience. If they are ready to conduct for getting this penetration testing is very dangerous. అంటే అది యూజ్ చేయడం అంత ఈజీగా ఉండదు. రివీల్ సోర్స్ కోడ్ టు థర్డ్, ఇలా మీరు సోర్స్ కోడ్ని థర్డ్ పార్టీకి ఇవ్వడం వల్ల కూడా ప్రాబ్లం ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, ఎక్స్పెన్సివ్. ఇది ఏంటంటే టెస్టింగ్ టూల్ అనేది కాస్ట్లీగా ఉంటుంది, ప్రాసెస్ కూడా. సమ్ టూల్స్ అండ్ మెథడ్స్ మే బి బ్యాన్డ్ బై ఏజెన్సీ రెగ్యులేషన్స్. సమ్ టూల్స్ అండ్ మెథడ్స్ మే బి బ్యాన్డ్ బై ఏజెన్సీ రెగ్యులేషన్స్. అంటే కొన్ని టూల్స్ మెథడ్స్ ఏజెన్సీ రెగ్యులేషన్స్ బ్యాన్ చేస్తాయి. కండక్టెడ్ ఇన్ లిమిటెడ్ టైం పీరియడ్. ఎక్కడ చేస్తామంటే లిమిటెడ్ టైం పీరియడ్లో కండక్ట్ చేస్తాం. ఇఫ్ ఏ సర్వీస్ ఈజ్ నాట్ టెస్టెడ్, then there will be no information about its security or insecurity. So, if a service is not tested, then there will be no information about its security or insecurity. And the next ఏంటి అంటే టూల్స్ ఫర్ పెనట్రేషన్ టెస్టింగ్. ఇందులో మళ్ళీ ఏమేమి టూల్స్ అవైలబుల్గా ఉన్నాయి పెనట్రేషన్ టెస్టింగ్ కోసం? ఎస్క్యూఎల్ మ్యాప్ అండి, అంటే ఎస్క్యూఎల్ ఇంజెక్షన్ అని అంటాము. ఎస్క్యూఎల్ మ్యాప్ డిటెక్ట్ అండ్ ఎక్స్ప్లాయిట్ ఎస్క్యూఎల్ ఇంజెక్షన్. నెక్స్ట్ Kali Linux an operating system ఉంటుంది. If this Kali Linux is an open source operating system, it includes some various free tools for getting the penetration testing. అందుకే లైనక్స్ అనేది మనకి సెక్యూర్ సిస్టమ్ అంటాం కదా. ఎందుకు వై లైనక్స్ ఈజ్ సెక్యూర్ మీన్స్ దట్ it contains the free tools for calculating the penetration testing vulnerabilities. So that's why it is a Linux operating system that very secure. That itself it's having a free tools called Linux. Next, Aircrack NG. The Aircrack NG analyzing the weaknesses in a Wi-Fi network. ఇక మనకి ఏంటంటే అదే ఎయిర్ క్రాక్ అంటే మన గాల్లో చేయడం కదా. ఓకే, చూడండి, వైఫై నెట్వర్క్స్ని మనకి వీక్నెసెస్ని ఎనాలసిస్ చేయటం. నెక్స్ట్, వెబ్ అండ్ WPA/PSK కీస్ కెన్ బి క్రాక్డ్ బై యూజింగ్ దిస్ టూల్. మనం క్రాక్ ఈ టూల్ని యూజ్ చేసి మన ఏమంటాం వైఫై పాస్వర్డ్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా అవన్నీ బ్రేక్ చేయొచ్చు. నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఈజ్ ద నెట్ స్పార్కర్ అండి. నెట్ స్పార్కర్ ఐడెంటిఫై అండ్ క్రాస్ సైట్ స్క్రిప్టింగ్. ఓకే, నెట్ స్పార్కర్ ఐడెంటిఫై vulnerabilities such as SQL injection and cross site scripting in web applications and APIs. Next, NetSparker verifies the identified vulnerabilities, proving they are real. Next one is the Metasploit. One of the most advanced and popular framework is the Metasploit. Metasploit can be used on web applications, and Metasploit can be used in networks, and Metasploit can be used in servers also. అంటే మన వెబ్ అప్లికేషన్స్లోనూ యూజ్ చేస్తాము. అంటే దేనికోసం పెనట్రేషన్ టెస్టింగ్ అనేది. ఓకే, Metasploit can be used in web applications. Metasploit can be used in networks. Metasploit can be used in servers. Okay. This Metasploit can work in Windows operating system also, and this Metasploit working in Linux operating system. This Metasploit working in Apple Mac OS also. Okay. Right. Next, vulnerability assessment was some of the differences are vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. Okay, coming to the basis, the definitions between the vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. In vulnerability assessment automatically identify weaknesses via a software rather than manually. ఈ వనరబిలిటీ అసెస్మెంట్లో ఏంటంటే మనకి వీక్నెసెస్ని ఆటోమేటిక్గా ఐడెంటిఫై చేస్తాం యూజింగ్ సమ్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్, బట్ వీఆర్ నాట్ డూయింగ్ ఇన్వాల్వ్. Okay, that is the vulnerability assessment. In coming to the penetration testing, okay, it is a form of stress testing which exposes weaknesses. Okay, right. Next, what are the strength penetration testing? Okay, vulnerability assessment run easily and quickly. Okay, freeware or inexpensive tools are available. మనకి మనీ లేకుండానే అసెస్ చేయడం కోసం. నెక్స్ట్ పెనట్రేషన్ టెస్టింగ్. ఓకే, imitate actual attackers process to extent possible. Okay, but it is expensive, need a special expert for penetration testing. ఈ పెనట్రేషన్ టెస్టింగ్ అనేది వెరీ ఎక్స్పెన్సివ్ అండి, కాస్ట్లీ ప్రాసెస్. దీన్ని రన్ చేయడం కోసం ఒక స్పెషల్ ఎక్స్పర్ట్ కావాల్సి ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, దట్స్ వై ఇట్ ఈస్ వెరీ కాస్ట్లీ. అండ్ ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే మనం యాక్చువల్ అటాకర్స్ ఎవరైతే ఉంటారో వీఆర్ యాక్టింగ్ లైక్ దట్. నెక్స్ట్, coming to the scope. Coming to the scope, it will stop. Coming to the scope, it will stop just before compromising a system. Okay, it will stop just before compromising a system. Coming to the penetration testing, it will go as far as they can be the scope of the contract. Coming to the task of vulnerability assessment, searches and checks the underlying design to detect holes. Searches and checks the underlying design to detect holes. Coming to the penetration testing intends to exploit the vulnerabilities to probe the damage that could result from the vulnerability assessment. Coming to the frequency, at least quarterly, especially after new equipment is loaded, changes. Okay, at least quarterly, especially after new equipment is loaded or the network undergoes significant changes. Coming to the penetration testing, once or twice a year, as well as any time the internet facing equipment undergoes significant changes. And coming to the focus, list known software vulnerabilities that could be exploited. The penetration testing discovers unknown and exploitable weaknesses in normal business processes. Okay, in vulnerability assessment performed by typically conducted by in-house staff using authenticated credentials. It does not require a high skill level. Does not require a high skill levels. In penetration testing, best to use an independent outside service and alternate between two or three. Requires a great deal of skill. Value. Value detects when equipment could be compromised. Value could be detect when equipment could be compromised. Next, value identifies and reduces weaknesses in penetration testing. Coming to the report of vulnerability assessment, okay, a comprehensive technical report that includes all identified vulnerabilities and risk rankings and recommended recommendation activities. Coming to the penetration testing, a targeted summary narrative that includes the successful attack vector and recommended remediation activities to close that attack vendor. Right. Next one is the reasons for vulnerability existence. Insecure coding practices, developer education not focused on security, limited testing budget and scope, disjoint security processes, more resources outside than inside, misconfigurations not updated. The reasons for vulnerability existence are insecure coding practices, developer education not focused on security, limited testing budget and scope, disjoint security processes, more resources outside than inside, misconfiguration, and it is not updated. There are different types of vulnerabilities. Okay, missing data encryption. Okay, జనరల్గా డేటా ఎన్క్రిప్షన్ మిస్సింగ్ అయ్యడానికి అదొక ఛాన్స్ ఉందన్నమాట. ఎన్క్రిప్టెడ్ డేటా అయితే కనుక కొంచెం సెక్యూర్గా ఉంటుంది. OS command injection is a one type of vulnerability. SQL injection is a one more type. Buffer overflow is also a type of vulnerabilities. Okay, buffer overflows. Missing missing authentication for critical function also. Missing authorization. Okay, reliance on untrusted inputs in a security decision. Cross-site scripting and forgery of browser algorithms. You will redirect to untrusted site. Path reversal, bugs, weak passwords, software already infected with viruses. The different types of vulnerabilities. Different types of attacks. Denial of service and distributed denial of service attacks. Man-in-the-middle attack. Phishing and speech. Drive-by attack. Password attack. Scripting attack. Eavesdropping attack. Birthday attack. Malware attacks. These are the attacks. Okay, how VPAT conducted for this site. Cyber Security Research Lab conducts this one. Okay, Computer Emergency Readiness Team also conducted VPAT, WAPT, the value added penetration testing. Also, we can conduct the WAPT. In external, also we can conduct the WAPT. Okay, next, why? How? ICT security policy. ICT security policy is required for this one. Avoid network downtime due to breach. Okay, next one is the CIA tried means at first mode Japan confidentiality, integrity, authentication. Adi CIA try enhansive effectiveness of an overall security life cycle. Provide a strong basis for helping to determine appropriate security budgets. Okay, these vulnerability assessment and testing. Next one, the what are the services? Okay, what are the services are there? Right, services of vulnerability and penetration testing services are there. Okay, what is VPAT services here? Vulnerability assessment, vulnerability assessment, and penetration testing are types of vulnerability testing. The tests have different strengths. and are often combined to achieve more complete vulnerability analysis. Next, vulnerability scanners alert companies pre-existing flaws in their code and where they are located. Next, the penetration test attempts to exploit the vulnerabilities in a system to determine whether unauthorized access or other malicious activity is possible and identify which flaws pose a threat to the application. Next, why do you need VPAT services? Identify potential risk to your organizational network, mobile apps, web apps, IoT devices, cloud applications with our vulnerability assessment and penetration testing services. To keep the data secure while transferring it between systems or over network. To protect confidential user data. To identify security vulnerabilities within an application. To find out loopholes within the system. To determine the tolerance of business in cybersecurity attacks. To implement effective security strategies in organizations. Why we why ఎక్కడ మనకి identity potential risk to your organizational network or identify potential risk in your mobile apps or identify or identify uh, identify the potential risk in web apps, identify the potential risk in IoT devices, okay, and identify the potential risk in cloud applications. 15 minutes classical. To keep the data secure while transferring it between systems or over networks. To protect security vulnerabilities within an application. To find out loopholes within the system only. To find out loopholes within the system. To determine the tolerance of business in cyber attacks. To implement effective security strategies in the organization. Okay, what are the causes for vulnerabilities? The main reason, the main reason behind a system being vulnerable is misconfiguration and incorrect practices. Okay, what are the possibilities? What are the reasons? Some of the reasons for the vulnerability are inappropriate system hardware and software design. మనకి ఏంటంటే మనకి ఇన్అప్రాప్ సిస్టమ్కి కావాల్సినటువంటి హార్డ్వేర్ కానీ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ డిజైన్ కానీ కరెక్ట్గా అప్రోప్రియేట్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ హార్డ్వేర్ డిజైన్స్ లేకపోవడం, సిస్టమ్ సరిగ్గా మనం కాన్ఫిగర్ చేయకపోవడం, మల్టీప్లెక్స్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఆర్ హార్డ్వేర్, మల్టీప్లెక్స్ సాఫ్ట్వేర్ ఆర్ హార్డ్వేర్. Next one is the system connected to an insecure network. System connected to an insecure network. Next, set and weak or poor password formats. Increase data breaches due to incorrect programming practices. What are the benefits of VPAT services? When it comes to security, VAPT offers excessive benefits to an organization. Let's look risk management and the organization, a detailed view of potential threats faced by an application. Help the organization in identifying programming errors that leads to cyber attacks. Maintaining multiple backups in different locations for redundancy. Okay, safeguards the business from loss of stature and money. Protects the organization's data from malicious attacks. Unveil the data breaches with 100% and financial security without breaking any type of digital data. Okay, what are the plan, okay, scanning and vulnerability analysis, explorations, okay, privilege escalation, final reporting for the penetration testing there. The vulnerability assessment and penetration testing services for web applications. Coming to the web applications, we use a comprehensive framework to conduct the assessment of web-based applications. Our web app penetration testing team can find security flaws, entire web application, or its components like source code, database, backend networks. Next one is the mobile applications. We use a comprehensive net framework to conduct the assessment of web-based applications. Our web app penetration testing team can find security flaws, entire web applications, or its components like source code, database, backend network, IoT, and internet. We provide vulnerability assessment and penetration testing services for IoT mobile application, cloud APIs, communication and protocols, and embedded hardware. We conduct testing for every segment of IoT devices, whether it be software or the hardware. Okay, we can provide both manual as well as automated vulnerability assessment and penetrated testing services as per the client's requirements. We follow a systematic approach and methodology for vulnerability assessment and penetration testings. Okay, this method includes the following steps. So what are those steps? Are there? Planning and information gathering, vulnerability and detection, penetration attempt. Okay, in, next the cleanup process, analysis and reportings are there. Coming to the configuration and management testing. Okay, so, best for ఎర్రర్ పేజ్ వచ్చింది మనకి 500 200 ఎర్రర్ పేజ్ వచ్చింది కదా అలా డైరెక్ట్ రిఫరెన్స్ ఆఫ్ సెన్సిటివ్ డాక్యుమెంట్స్ వితౌట్ ప్రాపర్ authentication, check for broken links, test for HTTP methods like put to delete trace options, connect, check for HTTP uh, transport, for access interface by liberalize relation papers, for applications that have added cross-main exceptions. Guide from testing, restore definitions to users and stable user for the username for this. Uh, Authentication testing. Check out cap large for week and for test for potentials.